Hi, I'm Ken Levine. I'm the creative director of Irrational Games, here to talk about Bioshock. Customization of experience in Bioshock is, I think, a huge component of the game. One thing that, we did this game called System Shock 2, which you mentioned before, but the choice was very internal. It's like you have this character sheet, essentially, that you went to, and if you did more damage of a certain type, it would just be a number that got rolled under the hood. And our goal with Bioshock is to give that same amount of choice, but to bring it all to the surface. Tonight you saw us using the Electro Bolt, which is a power the player can choose to have, and he can power it up through the course of the game. And it's not just a thing that does electrical damage; it's a thing that stuns enemies. It shuts down machines for a temporary period of time. But if an enemy's in water, it will electrocute him. And then you combine it with other things, and it will arc from enemy to enemy if he's in water. You see things like the Incinerate. It's not just something that does fire damage. Guys get hit by Incinerate, start screaming and running around. If there's a body of water nearby, they'll throw themselves in it. And then use the Electro Bolt to zap them with the electricity while they're doing that. You see telekinesis. You saw me catching grenades out of the air. You saw me using it to throw things at guys, to light things on fire and then throw at guys. They said everything in the game speaks to everything else in the game, and that's what we showed tonight with that demo, I think. And when you play the game, you see the beginnings of that. The beginning ramps up, obviously.
Man has a choice. I chose impossible.
I think the difference between Irrational and other companies is that other companies tend to borrow from Aliens and Lord of the Rings, and we just tend to borrow from a lot of other places. I grew up near New York. Look at the game. I always loved Rockefeller Center and the Empire State Building, the looks of those. And when we started working on this game, I went over there and photographed everything. I'd read a bunch of, 1,000 books, 1,000 movies. Fight Club's a big inspiration. You may not be able to tell why until later. Ayn Rand's books, a big inspiration. I've always loved 1984. I always loved dystopia stories. I was obsessed with Logan's Run when I was a kid. And I always wanted to make a game about a utopia, or a failed utopia. I think that's the heart of the human experience. We want to create brilliant things, but we're human, so we always screw it up. And no matter how strong our ideals are, it always falls apart. We come from a PC background. This is really our first console game. And so the way we did it was not particularly clever. We have two different teams working on each of the interfaces. And both interfaces had to be awesome. We have a huge amount of experience involving PC interfaces, so that was not a huge challenge for us. We did SWAT and Tribes and System Shock 2 and Freedom Force. So we had a lot of experience with PC interfaces. For us, the challenge is making the console interface good. So we basically had two teams, and that's how you do it, and you don't compromise on that. The challenge of working with an engine like Unreal Engine 3 is not like how you do cool stuff, because good programmers, because you see there's a huge amount of stuff you can do in Bioshock. Any programmer worth his salt could do that. The question is, can he do it and make it run at 30 frames a second and make it perform? Because when all that stuff's going off and the bots are flying around and the Big Daddy's on fire and there's water moving electrocuted, how do you keep the frame rate up? Because you can do anything you want if you run at 1 frame a second. And that's where great programmers and our great team led by Chris Klein come in. We got to take that engine and have it run. And that's really the challenge, not sort of make it do it, but make it do it and make it run well. The game is Bioshock, August 21st this year on PC and Xbox 360.